Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today is March 30th, 2021. I am the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, New York, and this is our weekly update. I am joined with our phenomenal city manager, Andy Stewart. Good morning, Mr. Andy Stewart.
Good morning, Mayor. It's great to be with you on this beautiful sunny day.
Had a little delay there. I wasn't sure if that was you, the computer. It scared me for a second. But anyway, thank you.
Yeah, no, the internet connection, this connection is not great. Yeah.
Okay, so
we are having a little trouble with the connection, but.
Okay, there's some sort of a delay because you're responding to me a little late, so I'll try to keep that in mind as I go forward. So I do want to say thank you to you and to Deputy Mayor McKenzie for filling in for me last week. It was a busy week, and I unfortunately couldn't be on the call, but I'm thankful that you two were able to hold it down and do what you guys do best, and that's give back to this community and informing what's going on. So thank you sincerely for that.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I would love for us to do is to talk about where we are in the city of Peekskill with COVID numbers, active cases, and
yeah. Can you hear me okay right now, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So our COVID number for March 29th was 109 active cases, and that's accessible via the city's Facebook page. You click on it, you go to the county dashboard, and it shows you how many active cases there are. I got to tell you, that number has been coming up over the last week or so. And if you look at Westchester as a whole, there's a little surge happening, and we're hearing about it in the state of New York and other states. It's in a tough spot, right? Because the vaccines are rolling out. Maybe a tenth to I'm going to say maybe 15% of the city population has been vaccinated. But there's definitely a surge of positive cases happening statewide. And there's these new, more contagious variations. So the CDC is actually recommending double masking and doing all the same protective measures as we move towards getting more people vaccinated.
It's interesting because I've been seeing a lot of people looking at it now. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people do the double masking all over.
Yep, it really makes sense. I mean, it's you gotta do what you can, and if your mask is made out of cloth and it's easy to breathe through, basically it means it's not protecting other people or yourself as well as it should. And it's a little cumbersome, but double down on the mask. We got to get through this thing.
From the beginning of this pandemic, they recommended the N95s, I believe it was, correct? As far as
the N95 is clearly, it's the standard for emergency responders and others, and people should use them if they want, but it's not the only face covering that's recommended. The surgical masks, the cloth masks with a surgical mask underneath it. And by the way, we still have a number of cartons of surgical masks that were obtained by the city, and they're available for distribution. So I know with your food distribution that you run in front of the Youth Bureau and others have been handing out masks, and we have extras if anybody needs them. We also still have those big bottles of sanitizer. Some daycare centers and others. I remember, Mayor, you were distributing those last year. We still have some of those. I got to tell you, as you know, they're way too squirty. Like the stuff that the state gave us is so watery that when you hit that pump, it kind of sprays everywhere.
Yeah, it's not like a gel. Yeah,
it's more liquidy than gel. So be that as it may, it's a resource that's available to folks. And we also have the signs that the Business Improvement District made that we're happy to give out to anybody. And they're basically for a storefront or a window or a doorway saying, masks required.
Stay away 6 feet. Yep. Masks required upon entry and social distance 6 feet or more. But yeah, for those of you who may need sanitizer, don't hesitate to reach out to us. It is better to have the small bottles. That way, if you take one of these big gallons of sanitizer, you can put it in the small bottle and you can use it to spray on your hands. It's a lot more easier because it's not the gel, it is the liquid version, the liquid sanitizer. So it comes on your hands similar to water spraying out. So
it can be a little sloppy.
Yeah. So and of course, when you come in City Hall is still following safety measures, safety protocol, COVID safe measures. We have a greeter at the front door every single day. We also have a sanitizer and a temperature check when you first walk into City Hall. We have a third intercom outside, so you can contact us from outside. This will prevent too much traffic or too many people inside City Hall at the same time. And I know people were asking about the city council meetings recently. We still have our city council meetings every single Monday night, other than, of course, holiday nights or Mondays with months with 5 Mondays in the month. But they're every single Monday night virtual, Zoom, under the governor's executive order, open meetings law. So we will continue to follow these guidelines. I know people have mentioned we should use the council. I think they mentioned the firehouse or the Paramount Theater for council meetings. I think for the safety of the community, it's best, especially now that we're seeing an uptick again in COVID cases throughout the entire state. It just makes sense to do what's safer for the people, to do these meetings virtual. So, but again, people can call in from their phone. People can get on from their Zoom if they have access to Wi-Fi. If they don't have access to Wi-Fi, they can call in from their home phone or their cell phone or their smartphone or whatever phone call or whatever phone device you may have to voice your concerns, opinions, questions, or submit any information to this council during a common council meeting. So safety first, folks, safety first. It's inconvenient. I truly understand that. I know everybody would love to go to the Paramount to watch us on stage. We are a great act to watch, but I would certainly recommend that we do not do that. We continue doing it virtual until it's a little bit more safe for everyone to gather around.
I got to tell you, there's pros and cons. It's definitely, the virtual meeting is more accessible for some people, but it takes away from our ability to communicate and kind of read body language, and so there's definitely pros and cons.
Certainly, absolutely,
and that's controlled by the state. The state, in the beginning of the pandemic, it suspended the usual open meetings law, and it really encouraged any safety measures, and of course we've taken a lot of them, but this virtual meeting is absolutely a safety measure, and there's a lot of access by having the meetings broadcast on TV, streaming on the web, creating the comments. People can tap in and speak with the city council and ask questions and make comments. So
absolutely,
and we're all eager to kind of get back to normal. We just need to remind people that we're in this weird spot where the vaccinations are coming out. It's springtime. It's beautiful out. You got to stick to your self-protection rules. And being outdoors is just a great way to do that. It's just a fabulous way to do that.
Yeah, enjoy some of the trailways and some of the parks right here in the city of Peekskill, the riverfront. I mean, we see people coming from other cities and states coming up here and just hanging outside of that riverfront. So, take time out.
Yeah, I was just saying, speaking of the outdoors, our recreation department is ramping up a whole bunch of different programs. The summer brochure is on the city website. Take a look at that. There's so many good things going on, planning to open the pool, having day camp. They had the Easter egg hunt this past Saturday. Beautiful weather for the little Easter bunnies out there, chasing around looking for eggs. Bicycle Sundays is starting up on April 11th, something the mayor and the city council endorsed recently. We got to close a road in the park for that, but that works great. People can bring their kids out and ride bikes without having to worry about cars. So,
yeah, I want to give a special shout out to the McKenzie family. As you all may or may not know, we lost one of our youth literally a year ago to violence, and his family has used his life to continue the legacy by not only celebrating his life, but also creating a scholarship to give to the Peekskill City School District in his name. And this community supported this family, and they raised $3,000 to give as a scholarship, and they're going to give $1,000 each year to the city of Peekskill School District for a scholarship for a different individual. And they celebrated his life at the riverfront this past weekend, and it was a beautiful celebration, beautiful people, a lot of heartfelt people. But I will say the school district definitely showed up and showed out and showed some support. So it was really great to see not only the people at the riverfront, the city of Peekskill, out there together, but it was great to see the family and the school district and the community all come as one, celebrate the life and support this family through these tragic times. But they raised $3,000 to give to the Peekskill City School District to help somebody else over the course of the next 3 years, and we're going to do more to help them and continue to preach the message of unity versus violence, and how the impact of unity and mental health and social health and emotional health and all those things matter now. So, but again, God bless the family, God bless our community, and continue to go outside, use that riverfront, use these parks, get yourself outside. Don't sit in your house and be stressed. This pandemic has created a lot of inconveniences, but we're maneuvering it through the best way we can. As the vaccines get distributed to the cities, once Peekskill gets ours, every chance that we can to get them, we will take them, and we will make sure that we make people aware of when we have them and where they'll be.
Just to that end, Mayor, I wanted to mention that periodically the county or pharmacies will contact the city and say, we have a special program to vaccinate. Please collect names, and it's hard because we would prefer that they register people themselves. But what happens, I think, in some cases is that people sign up on so many different lists that the list becomes worthless, and then the medical provider ends up with a bunch of empty slots. So they kind of push that over onto us. So if you look at our Facebook page right now, there's a name collection tool there. If you are a homebound person, and it's not just for seniors, it's people who are medically or physically in need of the mobile vaccine service that the county is starting to implement. And and if you know somebody, you're welcome. You can just help them kind of fill in their name and their phone number, and a couple other items. It's not medical information. It's just who you are, where you are. And then we give that list to the folks who have the vaccines, and then they call the homebound person back and find out any details they need, because it's a medical procedure, and the city has no involvement with screening people. So just know on the Facebook page right now, there's this list, and we've probably got a few dozen people who have seen it and jumped on it, and we just push those names right over to the whoever it is that's asking for them right now. But this is specifically for people who are physically or medically homebound, who really need that mobile vaccination service, and that is starting to be implemented in Westchester County.
There you go. Yep. So, as you all know, since the pandemic started, the city of Peekskill has given away, if you include everyone that's come together to do it, the city of Peekskill has given away a little over 1 million pounds of food. And we will continue to do so. And I want to thank Westcop and the Youth Bureau for continuing to do it every Friday at the Youth Bureau parking lot. This Friday coming up is this is April 2nd, I believe. Good Friday. We will not be out there in the Youth Bureau this Friday giving out the food. But what we usually do is, if there's a Friday that we can't make, we try to enhance or even double the order for the following Friday or the next Friday. So this Friday, we will not be out there at the Youth Bureau with the food distribution. However, we will return the following Friday. So please let your people know, let the families and friends know who usually come out to the Youth Bureau to grab, pick up food, let them know that we'll be out there next Friday. And when we come next Friday, make sure you bring your carts so you can have enough space to carry the food.
Yeah, there's a couple other food distributions going on. The Mount Lebanon Baptist Church Food Pantry.
Every Friday, correct.
It's here every Friday. The Church of Assumption food distribution is Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. while supplies last. And people should know also that the Peekskill Senior Nutrition Program, obviously, it just continues to operate daily. We don't have the congregate, like people sitting down to lunch together, but they're delivering food to homebound seniors. And if you're interested in that service, absolutely give a call to the nutrition department to find out more about it.
There's like a groundhog in my front yard right now.
I just want to mention that while we're looking at the food distributions, on Saturday is Fred's Pantry and the Peekskill Hispanic Community Corporation. They operate out of 701 Washington Street, which is the old firehouse on Washington Street in the parking lot there. So again, the schedule for the food distributions is on the city website, and it's posted to Facebook. And we do whatever we can to make sure people know what's available.
Absolutely. So let me switch gears for a little bit. We just saw that the Peekskill City football team for the Peekskill City School District had their first game last week on the new turf field.
That's exciting.
Yes. So The schedules of the games will be on the city school district website. You can check it out. You can watch the games from home, or you could just try to attend some of the games if you want. But they're not encouraging people to actually come to the games. But again, the turf field out there is beautiful. The kids were motivated and inspired, and the kids did. Our kids did really well this last game or this first game too. So I'm looking forward to this year.
That is exciting. And we recently had a question on Facebook as to, when the school district will be allowing sort of general use of that for walking and whatnot. And it's a school district matter. They still do have some construction activity going on in some of the associated facilities there. So the response was later in the summer, essentially.
Okay, good. Fair enough. So by then, hopefully things will be closer to normal. So again, we'd rather have people be safe than sorry either way. So if it takes a little while to get the construction done, to get the community back involved and back out there walking the track, let's be safe than sorry.
In the meantime, of course, the Pew Field is a very, very popular spot, and we certainly encourage people.
Absolutely. And our pool will be reopening soon too with, of course, COVID safety protocol. There will be differences. It will be for residents of Peekskill, and they will have a limited amount of people that can come in at a time. I believe you will have a certain period of time to actually utilize the facility or utilize the pool, and then you will be asked, or then another group will be able to be welcome. So you'll be having I'm assuming time slots.
It's time slot scheduling, organized access so that people can get in, have a good time, and get out.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So switching over once again, I want to give a special shout out. As you can see, my background says celebrating Women's History Month. I want to give a special shout out to Tuesday McDonald, Daryl Francis, and the entire Youth Borough team, staff, volunteers, and board for such a powerful Women's History Month virtual event that they held last week. It was very meaningful. All of the candidates who received the award were just very thankful, and it was just a precious moment to see such a powerful event done virtual. And I want to thank Ms. McDonald for the work at the Youth Borough, because the Youth Borough has been up and on the move the last couple of years, and even through the pandemic, we've seen a lot out of the Youth Borough, even with the children and the youth, and meeting every month or so to address the violence that we've seen in our community, and give children and even adults a platform to speak on some of these issues that we've faced and that we've seen that we had no control over. So I thank the Youth Borough for their hard work, and that event last week, virtual event, was amazing. I'm happy to be a part of it as well.
Yeah, that's good. And while people are thinking about the Youth Borough, just remember there's a range of programs there for young people up through 20-year-olds or 18, 20, focused on career development, focused on the job hunt and getting internships and getting placements in local businesses and nonprofits and others. So they really do some important work, helping guide people on their journey as far as career development. Recently, we tried out a little experiment because we saw there was upcoming tests for police officer and civil service, and also for building inspector. And so we actually got together with the Youth Bureau and some city staff, and we had a little Q&A on Zoom for anybody interested in those professions. So, and that's something I just want to make that offer out there. If someone's listening to this, or they know somebody who's interested in a career that relates to the city work, whether it's in finance or public works or enforcement, they should feel free to give us a call. We can get them a few minutes with somebody who's been down that road and can talk a little bit about what it's like to take the civil service test and get on a list and kind of what the job is like and things like that. So we offer that out to the community because everybody knows that, when you're transitioning in your career, you're trying to figure out how to get started when you're coming out of high school or college. Those kinds of conversations can really make a difference.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So last thing on my list, Andy, two things actually. One is the task force information. I'll let you share a little bit about that. But the last thing I want to introduce or speak on my list is the 2021 State of the City Address. I will, tentative date, the 2021 State of the City Address is April 19th, 2021. So again, this will not be an event where we will be doing it at City Hall and everybody comes. Unfortunately and fortunately for the safety of the people of the city of Peekskill, it will be a virtual event. So you will get to watch it live. More information on that will be coming or forthcoming in the next week or two. So I look forward to sharing with this community, with all of the watchers and the viewers and the visitors and family and friends of the city of Peekskill, of what we accomplished in 2020 and what we're looking forward to in 2021, and what challenges we'll have to prepare ourselves for as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I'm looking forward to that too. And I think it's important that once a year we really step back and say, what are all the things that are going on and how has the city kind of changed? And so I think it's important for people to have that big picture.
Right. Yes. And I really wanted to wait until the recommendations of the police task force were complete so I can share that with the community as well in the State of the City address. And we approved everything. We voted on everything last Monday. So I was able to incorporate some of that in the actual State of the City address, and now it's just about ready to go.
Yep. So, in speaking of the police task force, I know you wanted me to mention we're at a stage in that where the task force has done its work of creating recommendations. There were 51 of them. They went to the city council. The city council has accepted the report, notified the state that we're in compliance with the mandate, and then essentially pushed it back on to myself and Chief Halmy to develop an implementation process. The Human Relations Commission is the forum in which we will periodically update the community. The HRC, just for clarification, because the chair, Susie Erdy, is wonderful, that doesn't control the implementation. We just need a forum where we can report to the community and take questions and so on. So it's nice to have that. When we schedule our first presentation, we'll let everybody know. And that's kind of what stage we're in right now with that. There's this massive amount of work to do to figure out how to, but bearing in mind that, like, just for example, one of the achievable items is putting our police department policy manual online so anybody can see it. Like, we can do that. And in the process, though, Chief Halmy, in the NAACP, Derek Wright, who's the head of the Justice Committee, NAACP, have already been sitting with Chief Calabrese, who is one of the volunteers in the task force, and I've already done revisions to use of force policy and a bunch of other things that are relevant to the task force. And so when we do post it online, it'll be a new and improved version. And so there's just a lot of work that's already taking place and that needs to take place so that we can move forward with the recommendations that the task force and the city council have approved.
Absolutely. So I don't have anything else on my list on my end. Eddie, you have anything else on yours? Do you have any questions out there?
Well, I just want to mention, I don't want to forget that the city relies heavily on volunteers who join boards and commissions. Really, really important skills-based volunteering, whether it's land use board of ethics. I'm just reading off a few of the ones where there's vacancies right now. The Board of Tax Assessment and Review, Historic Preservation, Parks Advisory, Zoning Board, Planning Commission. These are really important commissions, and there's a constant kind of rotation as people move away or change their interest. So if you look at the city website, you'll see the list of vacancies, and we welcome letters of interest and resumes. The city council appoints to those boards and commissions, and so the city needs to see, the council needs to sort of see who's interested. So we welcome those kinds of letters anytime. And sometimes someone will put in for one thing, and the council will interview them and say, well, have you considered this other one? Because it seems like maybe that's a better match.
Right.
And we appreciate the work of these volunteers. And while I'm just mentioning volunteers, I want to mention the firefighters. People saw what happened in Spring Valley with the terrible fire in the nursing home in Spring Valley and over in Rockland County, and there was a loss of a firefighter who was heroically work. They rescued over 100 people from that building. And these are people who are not easy to move because they're in a nursing home. So it was really a remarkable and very tragic event. And so we're thinking about our firefighters, we're appreciating what they do. And we just really reinforcing that point. Everybody, have your smoke detectors, make sure your exits are not blocked, do what you're supposed to do to keep your families and businesses safe.
Absolutely. I couldn't have ended on a better note.
Let me just check over. I don't see. Oh, sorry. Here we got a couple of things here.
Okay.
Um, there's a question from somebody about City Hall and access for the public. And the answer is City Hall is accessible to the public. We routinely have people who show up, who hit the intercom button and who are either helped remotely and directed accordingly. In many cases, they can do it that way, or else they're let through the door. If they come through the door, they got to go through the little health survey, the COVID safe procedure and your temperature and whatnot. But yes, you can, and you have been able throughout the pandemic to get services from City Hall. We've just limited the number of people through the door, and we're requiring that each person who comes in, we have a greeter at the door, and they contact the department which they need to talk with, and the department will regulate, because they're seeing one person at a time at the desk, or in some cases they just help people at the door, or they come up. Like sometimes, you see it often with the finance department, the person will just come upstairs, give the person a piece of paper, whatever it is, and take care of them. So that's an answer to that question. Hopefully that's understood. And if anybody has a concern and they need something taken care of, feel free to call City Hall.
Yep.
There's another question here which really relates to a landlord dispute and something that seems a little complex. I will take this question and push it down to our Section 8 program because it's related to Section 8 and something having to do with the conditions of an apartment.
Okay.
So people should just know that that if they raise something up, if they send an email to the city manager related to any city program or service, we'll make sure that our department head and staff see that.
Absolutely.
Follow up on it. And we rely on people really to tell us things. I mean, right now is pothole season. You see a big hole out there, please let us know. The DPW is out there seeing and filling, but they might not have seen the one that you're looking at. And that goes for street lights that are out. It goes for litter hotspots. It was super windy the last few days, and we had some really terrible garbage spills with stuff all over the place. I know they were cleaning up on Division Street early this morning because I reported last night. I'm walking around. It was terrible. So
that's a very good point, and I encourage people. It's definitely beneficial to take pictures and post it on social media, but it's even more beneficial to send it to our DPW staff to get it cleaned up.
Yeah, I would say do us a favor. Just send us the picture. We'll take care of it. If there's a chronic issue and we're not taking care of it, we understand the social media. But if you just have a basic complaint, just shoot us a photo and an email with the location or pick up the phone.
Help clean up the city.
Out there and fix things as quickly as we can.
All right, Andy, it's 11:30, my friend. We all good on the questions?
Thank you. Yeah, I think we're all set.
All right, so everyone out there in Facebook world or social media world or TV land, thank you sincerely for watching us once again. We will see you same time next week. Andy, I'll see you in about an hour, so enjoy the rest of your day. Until then, take care, everybody.
Bye now. Bye.